You're still watching the AM show. We have many related things we want to discuss this morning, and key among them will be what you need to know about, well, how the action plans or the timelines will be till we get to elect our own MMDCs. We're talking about those who are going to head metropolitan assemblies, municipal assemblies, and our district assemblies. And Obi Amwa is the Deputy Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, but also a Member of Parliament for Equiapim South, and used to be a regular on the show, or still is a regular on the show. Good morning to you, sir. I know that he's on his way here, but there are many other things we'll also be talking about. You know that foiled coup plots by government and the relevant state security agencies we have. But it's the birthday of Mama Vio Sabwaja. I want to celebrate her today. Happy birthday. Be romantic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because I mean well.
Thank you.
Because of you, I decided not to put on my jacket to be in white, to make it look like I want to celebrate you.
Because you're my partner?
No, I want to celebrate you.
Really?
You're a woman of great substance.
Thank you.
And you're a good friend, yes.
Thank you. Why is it that I hear this just once a year?
Yeah, it's good. You know, sometimes when we tell you too many things, you women, you don't tend to appreciate it. Until about once in a while.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so we have a surprise for you.
No.
No more surprises.
No more surprises.
Right.
Enough.
We will see.
Somehow,
we will see.
Philomena, who is the producer of Cosmopolitan Mix on Joy FM, 10 my birthday from 24th to 23rd, and suddenly everybody thought it was my birthday yesterday.
He was awesome.
And I couldn't even defend it, you know, so I gave up. My birthday was celebrated yesterday. This is like post-birthday today. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Yeah. Thank you, Roland Walker. I'm 36.
Yeah, fantastic. And you look younger. That's the good
my
thing.
My friend.
Please, if you want to guess how old she looks, I mean, you know her age, 36, but how old do you think she looks physically? I think she looks younger than that. That's my opinion.
Okay, I think I'll pass for like 29.
Yeah. I know, right?
Okay, let's do the newspapers. Enough of me. We've got the Daily Graphic, the Finder, the Custodian, the Economy Times, the Daily Dispatch, the Times, the Daily Guide, and the New Statesman newspaper. The graphic is a bit heavy today. We'll start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page, election 2020 won't disturb peace, according to President Akufo-Addo, who stated that the elections will not disturb the peace of the country. He said although the political atmosphere was going to get hotter and hotter, in quotes, that would no way plunge the country into confusions. He said despite the negative picture some people posted on social media about the threats to peace, everything was standing in Ghana. Quote, we haven't broken down. The country is still in one piece, he said. The president was addressing some Ghanaians in the United States of America at a dinner organized by Ghana's permanent mission to the United States. We know why he's there, right? Because of the UN General Assembly, the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Back on the front page, graphic increases presence in digital space. Security operation foiled attack on presidency, according to Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah. I'm sure you are well aware of the statement and the backlash that it is receiving in view of what was discovered at Alajo. Some people say it is not proportional. I mean, you can't relate this to a coup or an overthrow of a government. And there are some security persons who are quoted to have said that this can't even get a chief out of a palace. Talk about presidency. Yeah. We're dealing with this matter this morning with the reactions, and hopefully we can get back to government and see if in view of all the things that they've heard, they will review their stance or their position. There's a reaction on the front page of the paper. Let's go back there. Jospon Group reacts to take over of Akwetia Mine. And I think on September 20, the paper did report that contract had been taken away from Jospon. They say not entirely true in terms of the report. We've got a statement that they received. We'll share that with you in the course of this review this morning. Let's do the center spread of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Now, there's a regional focus. Raging sea waves ravage. Roland, would it be Ekong? Where's this place? This is Akon. Okay, residents fight to nature. That's in the center spread of the paper. Miss Ifwa Amanzia Mehu often sat along the beach years past and admired God's beautiful creation. Now she looks at the sea with anguish and as a raging monster on the loose. She has lost her home to the raging sea waves and hates the sea for that. She says, my husband and I were sleeping when we had a loud noise of something crashing. We woke up and half of our room was gone. The pain of her loss still evident in her face as she narrated her story. So this is very much human-centered. Sometimes because we live very far from the sea, we are not able to relate. I come from Angloga, and the communities along the coast. I visit, when you go, you'd see a whole community washed away. It's incredible. Sometimes people virtually wake up in the morning and they see the water in their room, you know. And
and we also know this is the effects of the constant ravaging of the sea as a result of the excessive climate change reactions we're getting. It's now becoming more excessive because according to what the stats are, and even the information that has already been picked up, publicized widely, even in areas in the Arctics where there only used to be constant ice throughout the 365 days of the year, it's chipping away. You find water. And it shows.
And they say that this is also worsened because of the activity of sand winning and stone picking. It's kind of just created a whole big mess that is, you know, more beyond what anybody can do, even though we know. So from where I come from, for instance, a sea defense would greatly do the work.
Exactly.
You know. But here we are. We go back and forth every
day.
We
get to this and try to make sure we show up all that bit.
You know, the sea levels rising will not wait for you.
Not at all.
You know, the sea is doing its thing.
It's even rising faster than before,
exactly.
The world is getting
so
warmer.
The center spread of the daily graphic paints a picture of how some people who are also Ghanaians, by the way, are living, and how they wake up each day and they can't find a home because it's been washed away. They're living in it today. Back page, So when you see these stories, don't just look at them, read it. They're true human-centered stories embedded in that. And if you haven't visited any coastal town, this is Cape Coast, right? You can just take a drive, go to any of these communities that we're talking about. It is actually really real, and find out for yourself. Maybe you can add your voice to the calls for sea defense, for instance, or for this to stop. I know that at the UN General Assembly, climate change is one of the big issues. Indeed, there was a conversation yesterday where the UN General Secretary addressed. All right, let's go to the back page of the Daily Graphic now. Ghana Health Service moves to contain spread of scabies in East Mamprusi. This is also really critical. The Ghana Health Service has initiated action to contain the spread of a suspected scabies outbreak in the East Mamprusi municipality in the northeast region. Samples from a number of patients with a skin condition are currently being run through laboratory tests to establish the disease and ascertain the cause. The East Mamprusi Municipal Health Directorate, Mark Abugri, told the Daily Graphic that preliminary clinical investigations had revealed that the disease was scabies. He indicated that the disease control units of the Ghana Health Service was putting in preliminary measures to get drugs to treat the victims. It goes ahead to share symptoms. The infectious disease has so far hit about 16 communities in the municipality and has resulted in skin rashes among the residents, particularly women and children. The symptoms of the disease include rashes, itchiness, and sores. It is said to have been detected about 3 months ago at Kurugu, from where it spread rapidly to a number of communities, including Tambugu, Jawani, and Lataribu. So you can read the rest of this story on the back page of the paper. Also, Sofoline Interchange Project stalls again. Yeah, with an exclamation. It says the government of Ghana project started in 2007 was scheduled for completion in 36 months. It had, however, been bogged down by funding challenges, and the contractor, China Geoengineering Corporation, had stopped work a number of times. In November last year, the government announced the resumption of work on the project following the settlement of outstanding arrears of 30 million Ghana cedis to the contractor by the resident engineer for the project. Atubedu Pra told the Daily Graphic in Kumasi last week that the contractor had to stop work because it was becoming very difficult to proceed due to lack of funds. This is absolutely not surprising, is it, to anybody out there? That's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Yeah. So you tell us more about the just ones.
Yeah. So we're going to put that statement. Fred is our director. He's going to put the statement on the screen. This reaction, Jospon Group reacting to the takeover of Akwatia Mine. We'll share the details with you in a bit.
Okay, let's do the daily guide. Coup plotters arrested with AK-47s, pistols, explosives. Has an attached picture of Dr. Frederick Yao McPound. And then we also have expose corrupt officials. Expose corrupt officials, actually. Don't pocket evidence. Nana. We're talking the daily guide here. And we also have Mahama has no message. Gabi Ochiman gives NDC 3 days to apologize to Tumfo Lands today. Center spread, we have other stories there. Center spread of the daily guide says Nivea Kubidia can discover young fashion talent, and he's with the brand Chocolate, the originator of the brand Chocolate. Let's go to the back page of the daily guide. The daily guide has on the back page Solskjaer paying for Lukaku's exit. Everybody knows that. You know, not doing well. Envoy welcomes giant to India, and that's Michael Quaid Jr., the Ghana High Commission to India. Okay. Then we also have Nyantechi's Doma Palace presence stoke altercation. Now let's go to the Daily Statement. The Daily Statement has on the front page, bomb factory aimed to shake the state. 3 men arrested after 15-man surveillance in Alajo. Kwame Nkrumah at 110 and Africa at a government to roll out PhD research allowances, we're told. And on the back page, can Barcelona, Boss, Ernesto survive champions miserable away form? Asamajan, we're told that. Now let me do the last one. The Ghanaian Times. Ghanaian Times has on the front page, it's a plot against presidency and aimed at destabilizing country. Information Minister. The Ghanaian Times. Arrest, retrieval of guns, explosives. Okay. Volta Regional Minister urges Nkunya Alavanyo to sustain peace, and Piat vows to police use of oil revenue. The last story on the front page. Court orders release of cops to rightful claimants. Those are the stories we have. Front page, Ghanaian Times.
Let's do the finder. Okay, let's do the statement. This statement on the Great Consolidated Diamonds Ghana Limited. This statement that's been issued. This is because last Friday, government announced the abrogation of the contracts awarded to the Great Consolidated Diamond Ghana Limited. Okay. Awarded to it in 2011 to mine diamonds at Akwatia for a breach of contract. Basically, that was the bottom line. The company, the government said, failed to fulfill its core mandate of paying some $17 million to the Divestiture Implementation Committee, as well as rehabilitating and refurbishing facilities at the mines to enhance production. Bottom line, that contract, it was announced last Friday, had been abrogated. Here's a reaction that we're receiving just this morning from the group of which the Great Consolidated Diamonds Ghana Limited belongs, which is the Jospon Group. We're going to put that on the screen in a little bit, and we're going to just skip the first page. It's titled Jospon's Response to Government's Hostile and Illegal Takeover of Akwatia Mine. But let's go to page 2, where it is addressing specifically the pertinent issues raised in the publication. And 1, abrogation of contract by government following the acquisition of the mine. GCDL and JGC have made several attempts to make the mine commercially viable, albeit not yet entirely successful. This led to a series of communication with the DIC with the aim of reaching a mutually satisfactory direction on how to proceed with same. Despite these attempts, the government, acting through DIC by a letter dated 9th April 2019, purported to abrogate the agreement between the parties without following due process. Let's fast forward, go to the point 2, which is on payments of consideration. The company has, since the acquisition, made payments on accounts and through its principal shareholder been in dialogue with governments with the aim of settling the outstanding liability by way of a set-off from government's liability to the shareholder. Point 3 is on refurbishment of the Akwatia mine and hospital. So the statement said management states that since the acquisition of the mine, millions of dollars have been invested into the mine, which had been completely run down at the time of acquisition. In the development plan to revive the mine to full-scale operations, we have undertaken numerous feasibility studies and development activities amounting to over $20 million US. Point 4 is on illegal and hostile takeover of the mine. That's the very reason we are here, right? So the action of SIGA is illegal according to the statement, unconstitutional and regrettable in the nation that is governed by the tenets of democracy. On Thursday, 18th of September 2019, executives of SIGA, assisted by the BNI and military apparatus, illegally entered GCDGL premises, took over the security of the mine, closed down all the offices, seized staff vehicles and mobile phones, threatened staff, and closed down the only hospital which serves the community without regard for the patients who were receiving treatment. We wish to state that at all times due notice was not served on the company. Their conduct created pandemonium in the rather peaceful community and deprived the community of the very livelihood and facility the facility had given them over these few years. Consequently, the appointment of the interim management committee by SIGA is void and has no legal basis. We emphasize our position that the conduct of SIGA amounts to total disregard to rule of law and good governance. As a responsible company, we reiterate the fact that the matter is presently before a court of competent jurisdiction, and we will therefore wait for the final determination of the matter. Management is assuring all stakeholders, including the chiefs and people of Akwatia and the workers, that it is doing everything possible to resolve this matter using the appropriate legal remedies. All right, it's signed by the Communications Directorate of Jospon Group of Companies, and this is in reaction to the news that this mine that was given to the Great Consolidated Diamonds Ghana Limited, an affiliate of or one of the companies of the Jospon Group, had been abrogated. They are reacting strongly to it, and the way and manner in which the company was even closed down, and the fact that this case is already in court. Statement doesn't say what they intend doing immediately, but they only say that they want to go through the processes in court. All right, so that's it on this. I can tell you one thing though, this is very much still a developing story, so we'll see how government reacts to the accusation that the closure was illegal and the manner in which they did it, depriving members of the community. Let's do the Daily Dispatch newspaper, shall we? Front page of the Daily Dispatch, the Asante Hene is for all of us. Ambassador Haruna Atta making a statement in the paper today, as on the back page of the paper. Okay, referencing the speech at the UN in New York and a statement in Accra. Matters arising is titled, I guess. Akufo-Addo on Aisha Wan's deportation. It was a mistake. That was the senior minister's justification, by the way. Attempt to create chaos in Ghana foiled. Money paid by Jospon for Akwatia Diamond Mine Company missing, according to Asamoah Boate. I did say it. This is not the end of this matter. There will be lots of fallouts from that statement that they issued. Do you want to subscribe to the Daily Dispatch? Okay, that's an advertisement for them. All right, the custodian newspaper Mahamas NDC acted like merchants of war, according to Gabi Ochre Dakum. a member of the NPP and founder of Dankwa Institute. 96 constituency ambulances arrived. Turkish NGO constructs 69 mechanized boreholes in Ghana. Security agencies foil anarchy, retrieve arms and explosives. So the two arrested, Mr. Frederick Yawo Makpam and his alleged local gun manufacturer, on the front page of the Custodian newspaper today. The Economy Times, interest rates remain unchanged as Ghanaians are being encouraged to embrace efforts by the National Petroleum Authority to implement the cylinder circulation module, which in part designed to address safety in the discharge of gas products and create jobs in the country. The Association of Oil Marketing Companies is calling on government to reduce taxes on liquefied petroleum gas to make it cheaper and more accessible to for Ghanaians to achieve target sets. Also, Ghana's trade surplus improves further. On the back page, government misses fiscal deficit targets, and First National Bank Ghana Limited introduces agency banking service. Yep. Roland?
Yeah.
Do you have any more papers?
No.
Okay.
I wanted to comment about the trolling that's taking place on social media, particularly over the announcement and following up with the statement signed by the information minister of the attempted coup. And I think that we need to give government and institutions of state some due respect. I think it's a bit unfair, the state of trolling. People have even gone to the extent of using kitchen knives, syringes, sometimes powder, sometimes lotion.
Yeah, but the people, you're talking about the trolls, the people doing the analysis, critical analysis of this, have taken, yeah, you're talking about the trolls, but it's coming out of the analysis that experts have made, if you like, and they're looking at what had been confiscated, you know, because we're told cache of arms, we're told a number of things. And so they're looking at...
I know what they expect,
yeah, so if you're looking at, and we will deal with this matter after sport.
Are you saying that
in terms
it's a fallout from
proportionality? Yes, exactly, because they're looking at, is this proportional to what is being said had been foiled?
As in and the picture government is painting.
Exactly. And the conclusion they come to is no.
And I guess that's where it's coming from. So because I'm not the expert, but on the social media commentary and the trolling, I think it's a bit unfair to government.
We will come back.
If you look at some of the things, kitchen knives, fork, and table knives, it's a bit unfair.
We will come back to this matter. We'll come back to this matter right after sport. We have just a little time to do myjoyonline.com. Fred, do we go to myjoyonline.com?
Said Beidou. Said Beidou, as we look for, it's already here. It's already here. Said Beidou of the Hana School, Medina. You are 15 years today. It's from Ato Kwamena, your father, and a very good friend of mine. So have a happy birthday. You're 15 years.
All right, here's myjoyonline.com. Ashawan deportation. It took you too long to realize it was a mistake, according to Occupy Ghana. Absolutely, a lot. That's what, you know, I think especially when the senior minister came out, and it's been quiet. So, you know, sometimes the criticism, it takes the president to go to you know, a foreign country for somebody to ask him the same questions that we've been asking down here, and then we suddenly get a response, and this is to say that it was a mistake. It's the
first response also, the first time the response also came from the senior minister. It was same in the US.
Yeah, yeah.
And
look, all right, so appropriately so, Occupy Ghana telling government...
need to convince are us, those who do that.
Apparently not
ROPA
so much.
hasn't been implemented
so,
yet.
Occupy Ghana tells government, it took you too long to realize it was a mistake. All right, let's move on. Different strokes, the corrupt and the incorruptible. This is a feature that you might want to just go to myjoyonline.com and read. Government must be truthful to Ghanaians, according to former President John Mahama. A 9-year-old boy missing for 2 months in Tamale. This is sad, really. NDC just an easy target for Achim's NDC national organizer. This is in reaction to something that's been brewing, isn't it? About the comments that had been made, and Ochehene taking a very strong exception to that.
For the NDC
Government gives details about failed attempt to create instability. That's on our table this morning for discussion. Jenapol responds to Otredakel's allegations on PDS scandal. You can take a read on myjournline.com. Politicians are abusing the youth. Reverend Dr. Opening Frimpong, Kwabena Opening Frimpong. I'd like to say a big happy birthday to Reverend Kofi Otri, ICGC Milton Keynes in the United Kingdom. It's your birthday today, sir. Happy birthday to Reverend Kofi Otri of ICGC Milton Keynes, England. Is your birthday today.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You're watching the AM show. What we've just done is a review of myjournline.com. Shall we do the BBC, Fred, if we can? Or not quite? All right, if we... Okay, but Benedict will join us. Quite a number of things happening in the world of football. Locally, there was a video that went viral. In that video, you see the former president of Ghana Football Association, a man who's been banned from doing anything football. Yeah.
But he can watch in the stadium, I think.
I don't know. I don't know. So the video shows him, and it's just a lot of allegations, really, because, you know, that he was trying to campaign for another person who is in the race of the GFA presidency, yeah, and had accompanied him to
the Doma Palace.
Exactly, to see the chief. A lot of twists and turns. What I have
that video,
heard.
Is it not concocted?
Is it?
Real?
Okay, Benedict is here. Let's ask him. Benedict, so this video, we're told, good morning, by the way, was on Saturday, correct?
Yes, it was on Saturday. That's what I'm told. That
So
the video
who
was on
took
Saturday.
who there? Because
Well,
what I've heard is
okay.
that originally it is Kwesi Nyantakyi who is friends with the, is it the Doma chief?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's a very
the
close
Doma
friend to
chief.
the Doma chief.
Exactly.
Who owns the Diana Stars and a very powerful man in the Bono area.
Okay.
And Mr. Nyantakyi, as you saw in the video, was standing by a vehicle, a pickup, with Blue Boy, as well as Techiahin, who is popularly known as Tender. So there was no aspirants, as in those that are running for the GFA presidency. None of them is in that video. But, you know, of course, with Osei Palmer being linked to the camp of that's Blue Boy as well as Tender, because they are sympathizers of Osei Palmer. So, of course, I mean, their presence in the video clearly or tells people that, okay, maybe they were going there with Mr. Nyantakyi to campaign for Osei Palmer. So that's where they are drawing that relationship in that video. That because Blue Boy and Tender are sympathizers of Osei Palmer and the two people were in the video with Mr. Nyantakyi, then possibly maybe they were going to the Doma chief to campaign.
We have the video, don't we?
Yes, we do, and we'll show it this morning. And we're going to have some analysis on that as well. Just to find out, I mean, Mr. Nyantakyi has been banned from football for life. Is it something he can do? If that is what he's trying to do. So
what if it's a coincidence? He happened to have visited Doma.
Exactly. So it could also be that he was just, because he's a friend to the Doma chief, and he was just going to visit the man. Some people saw him and took videos of him, and so it could be. And so that's the analysis we are going to do. We are not drawing any hasty conclusion here.
You're not drawing any conclusion?
Not
so
at all.
I've got another question when you're doing that analysis, and I know that there'll be people who can, you know, digest this issue further joining you.
Yeah.
So my question is, how influential is he,
Thanks.
you know, with all the things that has happened to this particular election that's coming up next month, so that if you're in the camp of, or Kwesi Nyantakyi is said to be in your camp, what does it do to your bid exactly to become president? Is he still very influential like we had heard he was in the past? You know, things like that. I would love for that to come out in that interaction.
All right, okay. So Nana Juman will join us. We'll have that discussion. We'll put that watching to him, and we'll definitely see what he will say.
As
But, of
club
course,
manager of the year.
of course, no doubt about it.
And Messi,
no
we're
qualms.
told?
Messi, no doubt about it. You don't have to win the UEFA Champions League to become FIFA best. He did very well, won the domestic, competitions with Barcelona, played a very pivotal role, scored crazy number of goals for the side. Assist, he was king of assist last season. His performance, individual performance, was brilliant. So I think there's no two ways about it. I mean, the Liverpool, of course, I'm a Liverpool fan.
So we'll get highlights of all that, right?
Yeah, we'll do. I'm a Liverpool fan, but if
what credit is you have to give?
Benedict, you're Liverpool. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm a Liverpool sympathizer.
Yeah.
I sympathize with Manchester United as well because you are Manchester
you do?
United. Oh,
but
of course. Because you are a United fan. And you know I really like you. And today is your birthday.
There's a special lady in your life
yes,
who shares the same birthday with me. Mention her name.
Her name is Mama V. Mama V, you know I love you so much. And today is your birthday, so
I
happy
do
birthday.
too.
Okay.
I love you too, Benedict. Stay with us. We've got detailed sports coming your way.